Good to have you join us on Core Digest this Monday. The first issue we will be looking at is the aftermath of the APC National Convention. Matters arising. The National Convention of the All Progressives Congress held on Saturday, and in that poll, a former governor of Edo State and a former leader of the Nigeria Labour Congress emerged chairman of the party, and that's Adams Oshiomhole. He emerged unopposed as national chairman of the APC. That and all the happenings, all the members of the National Working Committee elected during that convention. With me in the studio this morning to discuss this issue is Ziggy Ibe. He's a public affairs analyst. Ziggy, thank you for joining us.
Nice being here.
Right, the APC National Convention has held, and we have Adams Oshiomhole, the party's national convention, and he says that he's ready 8 a.m. today to resume work, hoping that his predecessors are ready with a handover note to really hand over to him.
Adams Oshiomhole said something, and he said if every effort must be rewarded. I took those words from him because life is all about reward, and for any reward to be accepted, there must be an effort. Effort must come in terms of hard work. Effort must come in terms of mental work. Effort comes in different ways, and that is exactly what each organization that must grow need. Otherwise, when effort is not rewarded, you are drumming laziness. You are drumming less work. So I congratulate him on his successful being elected yesterday. All I would tell all the leaders that were elected yesterday was they should do all they could to unite the nerves that have been frayed. Because in a growing society, in a growing organization, certainly there must be diverging opinions. Opinions must be divided. There must be people in divides, in other divides. And as such, you need a leader, a pragmatic leader for that matter, who will be able to unite fraying nerves. So I will give that to Adams Oshiomhole, that he is a leader read and known too well, and he has all the powers to really unite not only members of the APC, to really unite Nigerians who would bring out every effort and make this country a better place to exist.
So you believe in his abilities to keep the APC one and promote the progressive agenda of the party?
Going through his antecedents, you'll find out that Adams Oshiomhole was the only man, while the country was boiling, who drove the NLC train to the Eldorado, and he did well while being in the leadership of Labour Congress.
But you also know that afterwards, by the time he became governor, people asked questions as to why, if you really had in the interest of the Labour society at heart, why would he now leave the Labour area, move over to another political party while he needed to get into politics?
Going through that, you know that in Nigeria, and in trying to dish out the leadership gains to so many people, you might not be able to do all they needed to be done. Okay, during his time, we knew how he went about doing so many things, all the achievements he got. While he was governor of Edo State, yes, there were pockets of issues still that existed in his place he has been before, and because he wasn't readily the direct leader, there might not be much he could do. Let's talk about his immediate environment, where he lauded as their helmsman, Edo State. He did well. And why?
That's in your own.
Yeah, in my own estimation. Yeah,
yes.
Sure. He did well. In my own views, in my own analysis, he did well in certain areas. He had 8 years to himself, and certain things he did nobody will come and finish up all the areas that were bad in a particular place. Nobody. And don't forget, where you are coming to work depends the structure that was left behind before you come. Otherwise, those structures, if it's not there, you certainly will not find your footing until a certain period of time before you begin to grapple with certain issues around you. So, in governance, so it is. There must be structure on ground from where you spring. Otherwise, you will begin to look for areas to lean on before you find your footing. That's exactly what happened during his time. So that, giving such credit to him, I'm not saying he was a perfect governor. You can't find such.
Yeah, because
in the environment we have.
Actually, a few days to that national convention, which eventually produced him as national chairman of the party. Now, you know, some man held a press conference and was talking about some projects under the administration of Adams Oshomole's
Yes.
governor. Talked about one, whether it's called Edo State University or University of Edo State, and all that, about the funds released for that project, the whereabouts of the funds, you know, asking questions on the need for Oshomole to actually defend what went on regarding that project.
If you talk about governors who would carry out a particular project and those who will not carry out, that findings will best be known or done by the agencies that are saddled with the responsibility, and that is the EFCC. You and I would see governance from where we are, and sometimes it's very far from us.
All right, but then in this case now, considering that Oshomole is already the national chairman of the party,
That's right.
do you consider that even if any allegation is leveled against them, do you consider that it should be given as much attention as
If you were not
if
the
he
chairman,
wasn't the one, if it was some other
no,
person?
he doesn't have immunity. I'm sure that's the area you are looking at. He doesn't have immunity. If there is anything, if he has run foul of the law, if he has done anything contrary to what he's supposed to have done while a governor, I think he will be invited. So his case is very, his book is still very, very open
Okay.
for scrutiny. So if he has any issue and the EFCC deems fit, or ICPC deems fit, that he needs some questions to answer, why not? I think they will invite him.
All right, as we mentioned or noted during the newspaper headline review, the comment of the national leader of the party, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, about the fact that there are some PDP elements that are, you know, frustrating the progressive agenda of the APC. How would you advise or suggest Oshomole and the leadership of the party to handle that?
I will expound that, and I will do it this way. We have MDAs, we have parastatals, we have other agencies that are peopled with other parties who are not of APC fold. And don't forget, the agenda of any opposition party, unfortunately in Nigeria, is to frustrate the sitting government. And that is what Bola Tinubu means there.
But,
To frustrate the effort of this government, he is saying that some people have been found in establishments, and these people are not carrying out the agenda of this present government. Meaning that all they do is to make sure, like what we are having now.
in what area?
The plateau killing we are having now is political. I've said
Political?
It's political, yes.
So
Very political.
Who's driving the politics?
I don't know. I don't know whose interest is to kill people to really transport himself to governance.
But you say it's political.
But that is too bad. Yeah.
So
it's
what
political.
informed your position on that issue?
In the past, Paul Onongo was a chairman of Northern Elders Forum, and he fingered someone. Paul Onongo said that somebody was a financier of the Boko Haram. You see, the issue we're having in the country is that so many Nigerians, the allies, ride on the porosity, ride on the kind of country, the kind of system we run in the country. If not, when an allegation is brought up against an individual, what the the agent supposed to do is to invite the individual till we speak. The individual has not been invited till we speak. Nothing have been heard about Paul Onongo's allegation against this person. If an individual raises a poser of this nature, what you do is to leverage on that. How did you get your information? And Paul Onongo wasn't the only person who said about this. So many people have given out information, letting the whole public know that certain individuals are fingered in this and they are never invited. The problem in the country is the moment you become a big fish, nobody touches you. You become a golden fish, nobody takes you away from your comfort zones.
Okay, if I may quickly take it back to the point you made about those in ministries, departments, and agencies. I'm beginning to wonder, because we have a permanent secretary, for instance. The person is supposed to be permanent. So whether or not the persons in government change, such an individual remains permanent secretary until it's time for him or her to retire.
That's right.
So such people are supposed to be apolitical, not affiliated with...
But they are political. They are not apolitical. They are political. They carry party's membership card. They are voted only. They vote only. They are not being voted. So they are political. Okay.
So what would you advise?
And what's supposed to be is that they don't supposed to meddle with the political arrangement of the country. They're supposed to stay away from the political games, but they don't do so. They are very much entrenched in the political arrangement we have in the country, and that's why Bola Tinubu is saying that some of these people, they frustrate the effort of the government because their party is not in the affairs of the country. Okay. So when they don't belong to the present government or the present administration, what they do is to carry out the agenda of the opposition party. Well, meaning that whatever thing that will work well for that ministry or agencies or departments, they will frustrate it, so that a bad name will be given to the government.
Well, that's actually a strong...
That's just the interpretation of what he said.
Okay, yeah, and I'm thinking that actually is a strong allegation. It's a strong allegation because these are people who are supposed to be working with the government for the betterment of the society. What it therefore means is that if something is wrong, then the government can actually do something. Before now, I hope you know, they are not allowed to vote. Before now, they are not allowed to meddle with any political arrangement, any political arrangement in the country. But now they've been given the power. They've been leveraged to vote, meaning that they are entitled to be to carry a party's card, so that they could vote. Do you understand? So what it means is that they have the right to vote, and when their party they have in mind, or the party they belong to, don't win, so what they do is to work against the party that is in power.